This one is kind of weird for me. It's a Seiko Sumo, but not kind of, because it's solar quartz. Kind of like trips me out a little bit. Traditionally, in case you didn't know, maybe you're just new into watches, the Seiko Sumo was essentially this chassis, but it had an automatic, typically a 6R15, if I'm not mistaken, movement in it. This one is a far departure from that automatic, and this one is full-on quartz, full-on solar, and it also has a jumping hour GMT, or a quick set hour, I should say, not a jumping. So real quick, have to mention, big thanks to the entire team at Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida. Tyler sent this batch over. Big thanks to Tyler. I will include in the description direct link for this watch at Exquisite, as well as direct contact information to get a hold of Tyler. Tell him I sent you, and get yourself a really good. I'm going to say Seiko because I'm showing you a Seiko, but the reality is they're authorized dealer for over 60 brands, plus have a massive pre-owned collection. Let's get into this watch. It still trips me out. It's weird. It's a great looking watch. First of all, I have to say the different tones of green, and then that like fluorescent pop of orange on the GMT hand. Just, it works. I absolutely dig it. So case width on this is 45 millimeter. The lug to lug, again, the people that know Sumo, they know this is long, but it's 52 millimeter. It is a long lug to lug, but it curves and it wears very good on wrist. Sumo was also known for having really high level finishing. This one seems to have pretty close to that. I'm trying to remember back to the first Sumos. It was maybe a touch better, but this one's really close. Thickness 14.1 millimeter. You have a 20 millimeter lug width, kind of tucked in between these hips here, and then bracelet tapers down to 18. You have the stamped Seiko clasp, keeping the cost down on this thing. There's a look at the case back. It does not say limited or special edition. However, when I go to Exquisite Timepieces website, they label this as limited. I can't find any evidence of that on the watch or on the hang tag. So SFK003 using the caliber 5K65. Very interesting caliber this one is, because you can kind of see how the dials can have like some translucent appearance to it, and that's so that sun or the lights that charge the solar cell can kind of get through. You have a 120 click bezel. Your access points, it's not shrouded, but the way this cushion case is done, your access points are basically at the 12 and 6. 120 click, easy to rotate around, no problem. The crown does not have a ton of threads on it. It actually unthreads pretty quick. A couple of turns, pops out, and then one click out, and you can advance or retard the hour hand. And you can also, that's how you change the date, forward and backward. Very snappy feel to that. And then to adjust the time, you pop it all the way out. It stops the seconds hand, hacking the movement, and then you can rotate this around. And that's how you would set the time. Would be a really good travel watch for sure, that quick set on there. And then also you don't have to worry about winding it, or making sure when you're wearing it, it has enough wind on it, so it will just work. Let me zoom back out. We'll pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. It does have a sapphire crystal, in case I didn't mention that. Here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Now, like I said, 45 by 52. I'm telling you right now, this thing on wrist just melts into your wrist. This is like one of the best ways to describe a cushion case is to put one of these Sumos on somebody's wrist, because the watch looks maybe too big for most people and has the dimensions to say that it's too large for some people. But I know people with 6.5 inch wrist that wear these Sumo and absolutely love them. I think Kaz from Two Broke Watch Snobs, and then I got a buddy down in Chicago that wears one. There's a few other people I've ran into that wear these Sumo that have much smaller wrist, and then on the flip side, all the way up to like 8.5-inch wrist. I know people that have worn the Sumo with great success. So if you haven't checked out a Sumo, my point is check one out, and you can do that at Exquisite Timepieces. That bright orange, when you give a little bit of UV light to it, it glows even more. But let's check out the Lume, speaking of glowing. Tons of Lume on this thing. And I believe the GMT hand is tipped in blue and the rest of it's green, unless my eyes are tricking me. I think that's what I'm seeing. Is that what I'm seeing? You guys back me up on that? It might be green. I don't know. I've been under these studio lights for a while. This is like my 3rd or 4th video, and the lights start to get to you. So thanks for watching. Big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces. I'll see you guys in the next vid.